let me say a little something about this summer's motorcycle tour. Now, a few years ago, I got this motorcycle, Vivian. She's a Yamaha V-Star 650, not really designed to travel cross country, but we've done a really good job. And in the last few years, we've taken 3 trips, and I visited 40 states and 2 provinces in Canada so far. So each trip has had kind of its own theme. And the first one was basically just starting out the idea of motorcycling music across America. So I strapped my guitar to my motorcycle and just kind of took off to play. But that culminated in a performance in Nashville on my birthday, which was a lot of fun. The second year was the Road to Will, where I rode all the way cross country to California through 24 states and Washington, D.C., revisiting the legacy of Will Rogers, which I turned into a web series that is now on its 3rd episode as of this taping, called The Road to Will, and that's on my Steve McAllister YouTube thing. And then last year's tour, I went through 22 states and 2 provinces, and wrote, my goal was a songwriting tour. Even though I did some Will Rogers stuff along the way, I was writing a new song in every city I stayed in. And so I wrote 25 songs on that tour. A lot of them are really good. So I'm releasing a new song every week. I've recorded 52 songs that I've written, and I plan to release one every week. I've released 4 so far, and I'm very excited about them. I just want people to hear them, and hopefully I want people to cover them. So if you're an artist that hears one of my songs, on my Steve McAlphabet YouTube page, I'm posting all the songs there with the lyrics and the chords. You can follow along, play at home, make the song your own, and my intention for those are ultimately to use an ABC squared economics paradigm on how any revenue that is generated from those songs addresses the artistry of our lives, the service we offer through our business, the engagement of our citizenry, and the development of our community. So that's a bit of a touch on that. I have a book about it. You can get the book, and I'll talk more about it later. But anyway, this year I'll be riding from Sarasota to Seattle and back, and I'll probably go visit another province. I gotta go to British Columbia. It's beautiful up there. Anyway, so I'll be riding to Seattle and back, and I'll visit the last 8 states. So I can fulfill my goal of riding to all 48 contiguous states. That's what I've been trying to do for the last few years. I didn't do it in 1 year, but I'm doing it in 4, which I think is pretty good. Now, this year, I will be bringing my guitar again, and I'll be bringing my manual typewriter. It's a 1959 Olympia, which I offer pay what you want poetry, custom poetry, and anyone who wants a poem written, I will take their idea, what they want it about, and craft a poem, and they can pay me what they want. And I'll play my music wherever I want to do. In other years, I've offered my Will Rogers show, which I've called Get the Bunk Out, where I portray Will Rogers and what he had to say. And this year, I will offer screenings of what is now a web series, The Road to Will, as a documentary film. And I'd love to have talkbacks about Will Rogers and the state of our political system, and how we can get over the 2-party system and maybe even create a true democracy, for those of us who have the courage to do that. And I'd love to do talks about those this year, but I've got a beard, so I can't really do Will Rogers as a character. And I don't want to shave. I like my beard. So I'll be glad to show screenings of the film and do that. But along the way, if you are open to me doing any of those things, or you have ideas on where I can go offer people poetry or play music for them or whatever, I don't have a PA system on the motorcycle. I can't carry much. I just got to be able to plug in and play music. I do have a microphone headset thing I can use. So any place out there that wants to hear my songs, I would love to come play them, and a bunch of other cover songs I like a lot. So here's my itinerary. The dates are subject to change, but I plan to leave here and go to Gainesville. Then I'm going to be going to Tallahassee. Then I'll be going to Mobile, Alabama. Then New Orleans, Louisiana. Louisiana is one of those on my list, as well as Jackson, Mississippi. So those are 2 states I'll get down right there. Then I'll be going to Little Rock, Arkansas. I've got some friends there that I want to hang out with for a bit. Claremore, Oklahoma, because I'm just always going to go visit Will Rogers' birthplace every time I can go through there. Then I think I'll go to Dodge City, Kansas after that. up through Pueblo, Colorado. But I might go back to Colorado Springs. The people who have reached out to me, I stayed with there before, and it's just a beautiful place. Boulder, Colorado. I've got a friend of mine there. Don Hall has a new book, the Regenerative Handbook, I think is what he's calling it. It's coming out soon. It's going to be fantastic. So hopefully he may be around. I'll visit with him. Then go to Sweetwater Station, Wyoming. Grand Teton National Park, because Grand Teton National Park is beautiful. Idaho Falls, Idaho, which, Wyoming, Grand Teton, that's one on my list. Idaho Falls is in Idaho. I haven't been there yet, at least on the motorcycle. Then I'm going to go to Bend, Oregon. Then I'm going to go to Eugene, Oregon, where I have lived for a few weeks in a tent there for a while and had some interesting experiences. I'm going to go up to Portland and then ride to Seattle, Washington. Then probably go up to Vancouver, down to Spokane, Washington, where I've never been there before, and Washington again, one of those states I'm not ridden to yet, and through Idaho again, and to Missoula, Montana, then Billings, Montana, then North Dakota, which I've not been there yet. I'm going to go to Regent, North Dakota, and then to Fargo, North Dakota. And I may dip down into South Dakota there a little bit, go to the Badlands and that area, because it's supposed to be good riding. And then Minneapolis, Minnesota. So anyway, North Dakota, by the way, is not only the last state on this list, on this tour. Once I get to North Dakota, I will have ridden my motorcycle to all 48 contiguous states. And because I've never been to North Dakota at all, that will be the last continental state I've actually been to. I've already been to Alaska. It's beautiful. But have visited all continental states, so I'm pretty excited about that. And then I'm going to go to Minneapolis. Then I'm going to go to Somerset, Wisconsin, and hopefully play at the Wet Barn. My friend has a place over there. And go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and visit what's her name? Laverna Shirley. And then Chicago, Illinois. I've only been to Chicago briefly, so I want to go to Chicago. And I may have a connection there. We'll see what happens. Then I'm going to go to, Fort Wayne, Indiana. My sister and nephews and nieces are there, so I'm going to go visit them. Columbus, Ohio, which I've never been to Columbus before, so that'll be cool. And then Charleston, West Virginia, because I just love West Virginia. And Charleston's a really cool town. Stuarts Draft, Virginia. Another sister lives there, and my nephews. Then I'm going to go to Independence, Virginia, and stay at the Oracle Institute there, which is an amazing place. And then Asheville, North Carolina, because, Asheville's gorgeous. Greenville, South Carolina. My friend Matt lives there, and Kevin, who's been a great host, said I could always come back there. Fayetteville, Georgia, just south of Atlanta. And I'll be staying with my friend Rob, who I met years ago when he picked me up as a hitchhiker. So that's going to be fun. And then back to Jacksonville, Florida. Cocoa Beach, Florida, and then I'll cross back over into Sarasota. So that's the plan so far. That's the itinerary so far for this trip. I'm not a great planner, so I don't have anything booked at all. So again, if you have anywhere, if you are in those cities or know people in those cities, you want to have me come through, that'd be fantastic. Normally, when I've been traveling for the last few years, I usually stay either with family or friends, or I find people on the Couchsurfing network, couchsurfing.com. Great community there. I met some amazing people, and we'll certainly reach out that way again. But if you happen to be watching this and say, this guy seems really cool, and you want to have me stop by, I don't need much. I'm serious. I have a hammock. You get a place where I can hang my hammock up, I'm good to go. But couches and beds are fine and helpful. Hotels, one, it costs money to stay in a hotel. But two, it's kind of boring, because I go to a city where I don't really know anybody, and I'm all by myself in a room. It's just not fun. I'd rather meet people who know areas and can show me things and let me really travel. So that's the gist for this summer's tour. If you're interested in participating in any way, please don't hesitate to contact me. stevemc.xyz@gmail.com is the best email to get me at. And it's going to be a really amazing trip. I'm looking very much forward to it. So that's pretty much the gist. So I look forward to seeing you on the road, and have a wonderful day. Find Steve McAlphabet's music around there, and go to stevemc.xyz for any more information. Talk to you soon. See ya.